Hello everyone, I am Ahmed Navid Azizi. I would like to welcome you all to a very nice training that's called Cisco Switch Password Recovery. Yes, sometimes it happens that you work for a company and let's say the guy who was working for the company has left the company and he has not shared the username and password. So in those situations, let's say you want to do some configurations which is required, but you don't want to lose the existing configuration. It means you want to get into the device, but you don't want to lose the configuration. It happens. There can be different examples for this, but let's to understand it more. Let's say I've got a switch here. This is my switch. When you want to get connected to this switch, I want to get connected and I've forgotten my password. It says only Ahmed Navid Azizi can use this switch and stuff like that. But let's say it's my own switch and I've got configuration inside this. I don't want to lose my configuration. I want to get into this device, but I forgot my password. I've forgotten my password. So what I do right now, I'm trying this password doesn't work. Anything else doesn't work. But right now I have not forgotten it, right? I can say let me log into the switch, so I can say show interface status. All right, yeah, there are some configurations here. Let's say show IP interface brief. I've got a configuration. The IP for this switch is 10.100, so I can ping it from my computer right now. You see, so I don't want to lose this configuration actually, so in this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume I have forgotten this password, right? I don't know the password. So what we do now? Easy. Go to your friend Google. There's a lot of good options on Google. Let me show you some stuff on Google, because the configuration, the password recovery depends on the model of the device you have. If I write down Cisco, let's say Catalyst, Cisco Catalyst password recovery, look at this. It already gives me a lot of options. Are you talking about this 300 series, 3650, 3850, 2960X, stuff like that? What model you're talking about? Are you talking about 3750, stuff like that? So my model, the one I'm having right now, is a 3750 series. So if I click on that, I'm gonna have a lot of stuff I can click on. Let's say on the first one, it's a very good one. Here, there's a lot of options here. There's a lot of very useful information. Let's say it's different situations. Recovering from a software failure, your iOS is not working, you cannot load the operating system. Is it recovering from lost, forgotten password? Is it preventing switch stack problems? Recovering from common switch failure and stuff like that. Even each section, if you go from lost or forgotten passwords, got two options. Is password recovery enabled or is password recovery disabled? Which means I can say that no one can recover my device. You forgot a password, you forgot it, but still there are some ways out. So in this example, we're gonna have a very simple one. It's just I've just forgotten my password. It's easy as that. Okay. So what do I do right now? The first thing we need to do is we need to reboot the device by unplugging the power and holding the button, the mode button switch, to show you that. So this is the switch and this is the mode button. I keep this button pressed, right? So until I go to the switch mode. There's a lot of discussions on how to press this and see what light stuff like, but let's make it very simple. So what I'm gonna do right now is okay, I'm gonna reboot. I'm gonna go back to the device, reboot it, and hold the mode button. Okay, keep seeing this. Here you go. Okay. Here you go. So I'm waiting. Yeah, you see? Now it went to the switch mode. It's like mini iOS. Alright, so here you go now. Now, you gotta initialize the flash by writing flash init, initialize. Alright, now our configuration. Alright, our configuration is stored on the flash A file name is config.txt. If I say dir flash, I want to see inside the flash, here's my iOS and another operating system like your Windows. This is my operating system, iOS. So I'm running this 3750, you know, this version. And this is my config.txt. This is holding all of my configurations, whatever host name, whatever I've got on the device, IP address, stuff like that. So it's all here. But VLANs are separate. This is my VLAN.dat. So all my VLAN configurations inside this, right? That's what we need right now, config.txt and VLAN.dat. So what happens when the device boots, it's looking for this config.txt, you know. So if there is the config.txt, it's going to load the configuration from that. But what we're going to do is we're going to rename this. So when the switch tries to reach this, it doesn't have this file and goes to normal configuration, default configuration mode, where we can reset everything. And once it's done, we're going to put it back as config.txt. So we're going to rename this file. All right. Okay. Now here, the same instructions given here. Let's see this one. Okay. All right. Send flash init. Okay, we did it. And load helper, we don't need this on this device. It's not giving us an option here. So next, dir flash. Yes, we saw inside that. So what we need to do is this command right now. So renaming from flash config.txt to flash config.txt.old, something like that. So I'm going to say rename flash config.txt, which is this file, to flash config.new.old, whatever. Let me call it .old. Yes? So if I say dir flash, now I can see that file from config.txt is config.old. It's changed. No problem with my VLAN, nothing to do with that. So now I've got to boot the device. So it boots the device, it doesn't find what? Config.txt. So I'm going to say boot, this example. Interrupt within 5 seconds to abort boot process. Now it's loading the iOS. All right. Let it go. The same stuff I've put on the right here. You can see it. I just got the steps, but it's not. Don't care about a step number, whatever. So flash init, load helper. On some device you see load helper, you need to load that helper thing. Otherwise you don't have to do it. Okay, flash init, and then next what you have is rename it and boot it. You just go to the configuration, say, do you want to continue with configuration, default stuff? You want us to configure it? No. Get in the device, rename it back to the right name, which was config.txt, and then copy configuration from config to the running configuration. So once it's done, go change the password and everything is going to be fine, right? This is the link for it. Okay, so we're done up to this part. Now let's go over device here. You see, it takes some time actually. So it takes some time, so we're going to wait for this. At the same time, I want to show you something here. The first message we got here, where was that? Yes, it says the password recovery mechanism is enabled. It means you can also disable this. So people, by pressing the mode button, then this normal way then does not apply. There's a different way, but we can have that discussion in the next nugget or the next video. But for right now, let's keep it simple and easy. All right, waiting for port download. So here you go. It's giving me the information of the device. Okay, fine. Let's wait. All right. Hey, let's see what happens. Okay, it's telling me something. Hey, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog so I can set up everything for you? Why is not asking for password? Because it went and looked for config.txt inside the flash. It didn't find it. So it says, I've got no configuration, you know. Now it's telling me that you want to do the initial configuration right now. Let's set up host name, IP address, VLAN, everything. I said, no, no, no. What I'm going to say right now is N. No. All right, so I'm already in the user mode. Right now, enable to go to the privileged mode. Okay, I'm already in the device. So you see, now if I say show interface status, I've lost my configuration. So I'm in the device, but I've lost all of my configuration, so it's not gonna work. And I didn't mean it this way. So what we need to do is recover, you know, get all the configurations back. What are we gonna do now? Easy. Once that's done, all right, we're inside this. Now we are renaming it to the right name. Why? Look at this. dir flash. It tells me that it's config.old. So whatever I do right now, whatever changes I make, if I reboot it, it doesn't make sense, because it will be looking for config.txt no matter I do the configuration even again. But when it gets rebooted, there'll be no configuration because it'll be looking for that. So the first step is, if you want your configuration to be saved, because the switch is looking for this for the config.txt, you got to rename it back to config.txt. You got to say, you know, rename config.old, actually inside flash, config.old to the flash config.txt. This is the first step. Yes, the file should be named this way. Yes, of course. Okay, now if I say dir flash, you see it shows that now the name is okay. Now whatever configuration I do right now, it's gonna be safe. Okay, cool. Now the thing is, if I change the password right now, let's say if I say enable secret, is let's say Cisco, this is an example, this is the password is changed, and if I copy the running to the startup, that is the biggest mistake. It gets all the running config and save it into the config.txt, and it's gonna remove that old configuration. You see what I mean? Because what the configuration I have right now show running is nothing special, almost no configuration. Even the host name is not the right, the switch name is not right. So if I say write, which means save this configuration to startup, or say copy running to startup, you know, there's a big problem. Don't ever do this, because it's gonna override the existing configuration. You're gonna lose everything and you're gonna be out of company. So what do you need to do now? You need to, from the config.txt file, get the configuration and put it in the running configuration. So from flash config.txt to system running config, which means, look at this, the switch name gotta change, the, you know, configuration that you had is gonna change. Look, right now you see you don't have these names here, CCNA, CCNP, show IP interface brief. I've lost my IP address, you know, on VLAN 1. So I've lost everything. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, you know, rename, copy from flash config.txt to system running config. So I'm gonna say copy, all right, from flash config.txt to system, right? Okay, and what is this now? Running config. Running config. Okay, running config should be the destination name. Yes, okay. Look at this. And now I'm having my configuration back. Whoa, you see that, guys? That is the nicest thing. Now I have my switch name as CCIE 50254 layer 3 switch. If I say show IP interface brief, I'm gonna have my IP address back here. I'm gonna have my interface descriptions. Let's say status. Where are you, man? Okay. CCNA lab, CCNP lab, CCNA, everything is back. Now I've got my configuration. So this is actually the time you can go and say, hey, I want to change my password right now. I forgot it. I'd forgotten that. So enable secret is going to be Cisco. All right, whatever. You're going to say line console 0, change your password to Cisco, whatever, you know, config you have, whatever. Don't worry about these. These are not part of the topic right now. All we need to do is we change the password, and we did. Now we can do is copy running to startup. You know, we can save the configuration, no problem. We have not lost the configuration. So here's the same thing here. We have copied that thing. Now we can go and enable change everything and copy that. And this is the link, you know, for that. So what I'm gonna do right now is, you know, copy running to startup config, something like that. Here you go. All right. So right now I can say write, or I can say copy running to start the same thing. Now I've got into device. I've not lost the configuration. Now the thing is, dir flash. Look at this. It is called what? Config.txt. Don't make it like double ext, or don't make double g. If you change the name, the switch will not. It'll be looking exactly for this name, so you will lose all. It means you're gonna have no configuration. All right. Yes. Yeah, I prefer to have a backup of your configuration and everything by setting up a TFTP server. Well, in my example, I've got a TFTP. Let me see. Yeah, I've got a TFTP here, like that. It's better that you guys back up your configuration, your iOS, and configuration and everything. It's a very pretty simple thing. On my device, I've got an IP address. Let's say it's this thing 10.0.10, and my switch is a show IP interface brief 100, so they're reachable. There's one cable connected. So if I say show interface, okay, for right now we're done with the first lesson. I'm just gonna show you something very easy. We can always show interface status. All right, include the connected one. It's not showing me connected. There should be a problem with my spelling link. Okay, there's one port connected, which is this port 13, which is my computer right now. If I say ping 10.0.0.10, that's my computer, and I can reach that, no problem. So what I can do right now is dir flash. I can back up my configuration. Say copy the flash. I can say this config.txt to TFTP. And the IP is 10.0.0.10. Or I can, if I don't write it, like I can say TFTP, and it's gonna tell me the IP for what's the IP for my computer. The computer, which is my TFTP server, I've installed the software TFTP that becomes a TFTP server. So I can say the IP is 10. Yes, and do you want the name to be config.txt? Yes. I can say config.txt. Maybe dot. Let's say it's 6th of let's say 7th of January 7/18 something. 19. Something like that, and that's copied. And I can say copy let's say my from the flash, I can copy my iOS, backup of my iOS to TFTP. Let's say this time write it down exactly 10.0.0.10. It's gonna tell me this is the right IP, yes, and the same name, yes, something like that. Now I have a backup of what? I have a backup of my configuration, and I have a backup of my iOS or another operating system. So I'm good to go. And I can say copy, startup config to TFTP, copy running config to TFTP, stuff like that. So that was a very basic lesson on. I'm still receiving the information. Yeah. So this lesson we were talking about only password recovery. So it's a very pretty clear video. Explore. So you see I got the files here, the config.txt 1.7.19, and my iOS, everything is cool. So yeah, that was the very first lesson on password recovery. I hope it was a good video for you guys, and thank you very much, and see you in the next nugget. But remember, we have other videos on advanced topologies and advanced concepts. Let's say very soon you're gonna have the next videos on the troubleshooting section. We're gonna have a troubleshooting of a live network on OSPF with multiple areas. You're gonna have a troubleshooting of MPLS core here, BGP, MPLS layer 3 VPN, VRF, stuff like that. You're gonna have NAT troubleshooting, where you're gonna have BGP and EIGRP, OSPF, everything. We're gonna have a DMVPN. This is gonna be our DMVPN hub and our DMVPN spokes. We're gonna configure. We're gonna troubleshoot DMVPN, IPsec. Everything in it. We're gonna have a very good troubleshooting on the EIGRP. We're gonna have BGP over IPv6. We're gonna have multicasting. We're gonna have redistribution. We're going to have static GRE, dynamic GRE, EBGP. See, we're going to have all of this, you know, troubleshooting in the next videos. That's going to be our advanced series. So no worries, we're going to cover basic and advanced. This is going to be very advanced topics. You're going to love this. We're going to have a lot of T-shoot stuff here, you know, a lot of the overlay and underlay and stuff like that. There's going to PPP. There's going to be a lot of it. So see you guys in the next video. We're going to have some good time together. Thank you very much and have a good time.